See, Alfred, I told you I can take care of a pet. The cat's right here and she's safe and sound. Isn't that right, little kitty?
Sir, why did you keep the cat in... Sir, were you keeping the cat inside your cow this whole time?
She thought it was cozy.
And I only got fur up my nose 7 times, so I'd say we're doing much better than last month.
At least 3 of those times were self-inflicted because I just had to nuzzle her.
I'll ready your allergy medicine, sir.
By the way, need it.
And it's oh, what the?
I am Anarky, voice of the people.
That does not look right in terms of spelling.
It's him being silly. So meet Batman's response to the whole Tumblr onceler trend of villains.
What?
This tween guy is named Anarky, and well, I mean, kind of
Down with the establishment, not the ankles of big business.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, it's just product is as it's labeled on the box. He's an anarchist, and that's about it.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but when I see this guy and I see that mask on him, I think of nothing but that movie. I don't remember what it's called, but the guy's name is V, and he's got that weird mask on his
yeah,
face.
V for Vendetta. It's a Guy Fawkes mask.
Yes, that's what it was.
Genuinely a good movie that I worry about the whole, freaking anonymous movement turning that mask into something that's
I want to ask,
unfortunately kind of cringy now.
I'm kind of curious, because have you ever read the original comic it's based on?
No.
I haven't read the whole comic, but I have seen the movie.
Yeah, I've seen the movie while I was in college.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the few Alan Moore adaptations that's actually pretty decent, apparently.
Well, I like the movie a lot, and I hear it's very good and does. It cuts out a couple details, but it stays pretty decent. It stays pretty faithful, I think, to the source material.
So, tell us, Logan, what should we know about having to deal with Anarky over here?
He likes to preach. He likes the sound of his own voice.
And he likes to plant bombs.
Right, so literally this is just... The whole purpose of this side quest is, next to all these projectors, there'll be an Anarky thug here.
An anarchist.
And all he does is he just tells us, like, a little secret, and without fast traveling, you just need to navigate the world map, get to a place, and disable a bomb.
Thankfully, the bombs aren't too far placed from where each of the Anarchy thugs are.
As long as you don't get sidetracked and you basically beeline it, you're not going to be stressing too much. Trying to think, but yeah, as far as Anarchy goes, I know at the time of this game's creation anyway, he was a more recent Batman. Has Anarchy ever appeared in the shows?
He was one of the main villains in Beware the Batman, although his motives / personality were tweaked a little bit for that show.
I mean, it just sounds like something that they did for a whole boatload of all the villains they used for not least of which includes Professor Pig.
And for another villain named Magpie, who was actually the very first villain that Batman and Superman fought together.
Really?
Professor Pig, I mean, they kind of had to, otherwise...
Professor Pig is... I forget if we've already brought this up, but Professor Pig is a villain that, by all accounts, should never be featured in a children's show.
Yeah.
I remember I was still starting his mission in City, but I haven't... in Night, but I haven't gone far enough to see it all the way through, but I hear it's pretty messed up.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, he's one of the more messed up villains in the entire Rogues Gallery.
Oh, yeah. And really quick, what you just heard there, I'll say, is sometimes throughout the game there'll be case files that open, which is basically, if you recall that detective vision thing where I could recreate crime scenes. They're just small little side quests you do either for story or for experience.
Yeah,
or for just yetzing around if you really like to see, for instant replay sort of shenanigans.
I will say one thing that's really interesting. Some of them are optional. One of the optional ones apparently revolves around a friend of Bruce's that gets
there's a crotch punch
right in the family jewels.
Yep. No, you don't.
Take that tacky mask off.
We'll just defuse this as we've done all of our other social standings at bars, and we've destroyed it. Yay!
So now that we defused the situation, how are you doing, Jordan?
I am okay. I got a lot of cleaning done today, amongst other stuff, and I'm just trying to relax.
Well, hopefully we can do our best to help.
Would you be in the mood for a soda cola?
So,
Oh, what
I
now?
did I saw that, and the first thing that came
basically
to my mind.
that is a thing I've seen in a handful of DC comics. Basically, what he said, Jordan, is that apparently there is a brand of soda in the DC universe called Soda Pop.
I have to
There it is,
politely
soda-
decline
soda
because I hate
cola.
soda.
And I'm sorry, but whenever I see Soder spelled like that, I think of the freaking Zooral animation of that one like baby animated like pilot thing he came up with, where it's basically like the first episode was called The Soder.
Oh, that's right. Oh, now I know what you're talking about. I remember that. That was a real, all right.
It was something he wanted to do, but I'm still very much looking forward to the actual. It looks like it's going to be an actual realization of that like space bounty hunter space like show
Yeah, that
IP
one.
he wanted to do.
Yeah, that one I'm looking forward to as well. Like, it really is amusing. Like, if you look at how the characters look in that pilot, like the work in progress of the pilot, and like the very early shorts that Zoo did with them, it's like, it really is just like a true night and day seeing how they used to be.
But it's still Shrike and BB, right?
Yep.
I think that's their names.
It's still the same characters, just with like very different designs.
Right. The first time I ever saw them was in the freaking Cheech and Chong sketch.
You know, go there,
yeah.
take off your dress. Ooh.
And then it's like, Lardash, you know who this is? Know who this is? This is Sergeant Sodenko. Oh yeah? Oh, do you know who this is? No? Bye-bye, Lord.
So, but
Anywho, but yeah, no, I'm super looking forward to that. The only thing I'm a little bit, and I shouldn't be disappointed by it because I love to see that this is something that's been a passion project of his for a while and he gets to make it. It's the only thing I was a little bit, I guess a little bit bummed about was that there was this one I guess it was like more of an AU. He was almost teasing at one point was he was going to have Lariat and Triangle from that one Walking City, that one. What they call it? OCTs, like original character tournaments. Like they
Oh,
used
I
to be
remember
all the
those.
rage on DeviantArt, where like you would basically pitch a bunch of characters and have comic writers like try to come up with like where the story can go, and it becomes a big world role play where you don't know if your character will survive it or not. But
you know what? I remember those, and I remember some of the animation bits that he did. Like I remember the one of them that involved I get their names confused. What's the one that looks like a cheese head again?
well, the cheese says is Shrike.
Okay, Shrike. Like, I remember one where Shrike is chasing after someone that apparently, like, stole his lunch, and it led to him, like, going through all these different scenes in the tournament.
Right, there was that one that was funny, and then Lariat's the girl who I think they got Noah King to voice her at one point, and then Triangle's the robot, and yeah, basically they had this one AU plan of having Shrike and BB with Lariat and Triangle as like a quartet, but it looks like they're focusing more on the space bounty hunter thing. I don't know. It's for the same reason that I'm hoping eventually a Fox in Space finally gets done.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's another upgrade I get later is when you do a full takedown, you can press a button after landing to let out the bat.
Shockwave.
We'll call it that, sure.
I think that is what it's called.
Well, I'm calling. Anyway.
You know, it's a good thing. You know, it's a good thing I had those bat burritos for breakfast today.
So, Jordy, if you don't like soda, just to go off topic, if you don't like soda, what beverages do you like besides tea? Can't say tea. We already
I
know
can't
that
even
thing.
say iced tea.
Okay, well, iced tea. I guess that's fair.
You know, like you like Brisk or Arizona stuff like that.
I don't
That's
like
fair.
Brisk. I think it tastes nasty.
Fair
I
enough.
like their fruit. I like Brisk's raspberry iced tea. But then I think I was talking with somebody, and somebody outright, maybe it was you who actually said, but I remember reading somewhere where somebody was amazed that they're like, wait, holy crap, when you drink tea hot, it like has a completely different flavor to it. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I mentioned that, but I believe you. But aside from
flavors come
that,
out.
I do like lemonades. Like earlier today, I went to Applebee's and I had a dragon fruit lemonade. It was so good. I'm not
I
even
haven't
joking.
had dragon fruit by itself. Is it
I've never
good?
had it. I've never had it either, honestly. But I'm kind of curious to try it.
Okay. I'm gonna be right back. But
okay.
basically, we're gonna be looking at another Anarky projector. This should be the last of the 3.
I swear
Then we
this.
can take.
I was gonna say, I swear this dude just needs to replace the first A in his name with an S.
Snarky.
Yeah, because listen to this guy.
I mean, he's clearly making up for something.
Yeah, he's just a troubled youth that thinks he knows the true answers of life, the universe, and whatnots.
Well, this
Huey.
Yeah,
there he is.
Just no, this punk's gonna get what's coming to him by the end of the part.
It really is kind of a shame because, at least as far as Gotham's concerned, he's not entirely wrong because, like, Gotham is, like, one of the most corrupt cities in the world.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not immediately obvious that it has a very bad supervillain problem.
Well, like, not even just supervillains. I'm just talking about, like we see bits of it in Origins, and it's a carryover in a bunch of other Batman medium. The police are so crooked, it's surprising that it's still in one piece.
Yeah, no, like that. It's honestly amazing that people would ever dare to even live in Gotham.
I guess someone's got to reside there. Plus, they need the publicity.
I guess so.
I feel like the only reason that anyone would willingly live in Gotham, knowing all of the hell that it has, is that it's probably like really cheap rent.
I mean, that's really the only justification I can think of, because like that's really all there is to it. The rest of it is there's a freaking disaster happening there like every other week.
Yeah, basically.
One that
Sometimes
could very
on
well
purpose.
sometimes it just ends up. It's amazing that a good handful of the natural population of it hasn't been wiped out.
Yeah, I mean, like, really, like, I feel like realistically at this point, like, the population in Gotham should pretty much be what it is in Arkham Knight, where everyone is driven out except for, like, the villains and a handful of whatever mooks are unfortunate enough to work with them.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it does remind me of oh, there he goes. It does remind me of a storyline that I probably should look into sometime soon, called No Man's Land, where there was this freak earthquake that pretty much split Gotham into, like, chunks, and it pretty much evacuated all the people, and each villain took over a different chunk of Gotham, which honestly was one of the big inspirations for Arkham City, I hear.
Oh, nice.
Sounds appropriate, considering, like, Arkham City is literally just one chunk of Gotham, literally turned into a cesspit.
Mm-hmm.
Come on down to the courthouse so we can continue Gotham's trial.
A trial?
I told you I like the product, but I really don't want to buy the full version.
Oh, come on! I'll give you a free sample.
I thought the trial was the free sample.
I would like the free sample if it's still on offer.
Stay out of this, Stroopy.
No.
Oh, you know what? This actually brings up a question. Don't ask me why this particular thing brought up a question.
Oh, hey.
Well, yeah,
They're
I'll wait till a
applauding you.
minute.
I'm so glad you came. It's an honor, really. There's so much for us to discuss.
What do you want?
I'd like to propose an alliance. I think the two of us could accomplish great things together.
No.
I don't work with criminals. You need to turn yourself in.
Tell you what, I'll turn myself in as soon as you do the same. But you don't consider yourself a criminal, do you?
Because I'm not a criminal.
Suit, the gadgets,
Yeah,
bet.
he's just misunderstood.
You're just another rich kid atoning for his
I mean, you could. There are many a Batman villain that would probably come up with that excuse.
shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, where were you about to ask,
boy.
Jordan?
Oh, I was about to ask. So, one thing that kind of came to mind. So we know that there's a lot of Batman villains in Batman. Which ones do you really like that you would like to see more of, or maybe like get another storytelling for them? Like for me, I really like Baby Doll, and I want to see her more in media, or maybe even another like version of her story
Whoa.
that could really be an impact on the series.
Okay,
Well,
so
the most I've ever heard from her was in the Bruce Timm show, and also, yeah, as Hype pointed out, now you gotta be careful because now Anarchy's gonna be throwing Molotovs down at us.
yeah, it's gonna come to a point where he'll come down as well. But again, you just gotta watch out and make sure you don't get hit by the Molotovs. As far as my input goes, I'm not sure if this is the exact same question you're asking, but I do think it's something worth looking into. If we were ever allowed to have like another like solo villain story in not the same vein, but in a similar spirit to what we got with Joker, I'd love to see a dedicated Mr. Freeze movie, honestly.
that would I think he definitely is one of the more sympathizable of the villains.
Right.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Anarky. I didn't mean to hit you with the space punch. I'll promise there'll be normal punches from now on. I don't know. I mean, there's a part of me that would love to see, just because I'm thinking from like the visual standpoint, I would love to see a Mad Hatter origin story. Like,
I would
just
too,
go full on
yeah.
into just go into the full psychedelic like meltdown that led him into that obsession he is in now.
Yeah. I would say it might be a little bit tricky how you handle certain things, because when it comes to
Stand
like,
down.
oh boy, because when it comes
Poor
to
dude.
I was gonna say, like, Hatter, the only thing I would see tricky about Hatter is some writers take, like, very certain connotations about his obsession with Alice, and I feel like if you go too far into a certain direction, it might end up, like, turning off a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. Especially considering the many different versions we've had of Alice in Wonderland in general, including some very twisted ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, James? What's your input?
Police are on their way.
I mean, honestly, not really sure, to be honest. Like, I'm part of me is debating maybe Clayface.
I mean,
Clayface would be
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I think
I mean, especially for how they handled the origin story in the animated series.
My God, you're still here? It's over. Go home.
Go home already.
I don't have a home. I want to lie here, okay?
It's
Can't I
it's-
just
I'm-
lay
I'm
here like an angsty teenager?
I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now. Which I just now realized, I just randomly thought that like there's something like interesting to me about like how the direction we're taking our Batman voices, because I'm not saying I'm a perfect one-to-one connection for Jesus, no, but my big inspiration for Batman voices is still the one Bale did.
Oh,
Just
right,
a little bit deeper.
the raspy, like, throat
I
cancer
try
voice.
I try to avoid the rasp. I try to actually give it like volume.
So it's not just like this. It's more like this. But I don't know. But I don't know any other Batman voice. I don't know any other Batman voice that was similar to this one.
Didn't
Honestly,
Will
I
Arnett kind of go in a similar approach?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. You do kind of have, like, Arnett vibes with your Batman voice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And while we investigate this this crime scene of a guy who fell down, what were you saying, James, about the Batman voices?
Ouch. I mean, usually I just cheap out and go with D.J. Bader's impersonation of him.
But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but you know what? Now
Dietrich
that you
did a
brought
good
up,
stuff, yeah.
Dietrich is a very underappreciated Batman. But now that you brought up the conversation, I'm kind of curious. Like, you're talking about, like, comparing, like, Batman voices and what you thought of them. Is there any particular Batman you think mine sounds like?
Was it an accident?
I figured since you go just straight up deep, I always figured you do just kind of either go for Kevin Conroy or honestly, maybe just Roger Craig Smith Batman or who played him in Brave and the Bold.
Dietrich.
Yeah, Dietrich was
That was
Brave and
Dietrich?
the Bold.
Okay, maybe not that one. What about in The Batman?
The Batman was Rino Romano, aka the Spider-Man in the PlayStation 1 games.
Okay, because you do sound a bit like that one as well. Do you have a favorite Batman, Jordy?
I mean,
Like, in
aside
terms
from
of portrayal?
Kevin Conroy, I think I like Reno Romano's take on him in the Batman, and I've grown pretty fond of Rogers as well.
Sets of fingerprints here.
Like, both Reno and Roger are really good at sounding like a nice younger Batman.
Yeah.
The last known location of Robert Haynes. I'll send over every
Remember we got to fight Dracula?
Yeah, that is still an amazing movie.
We need to see that, especially with Halloween coming up.
You know what? I would not be against that.
I mean, I guess if we were to watch it, I would have to ask how much prior knowledge do you have to have of that incarnation of Batman to go into it?
I don't think a lot is required because I haven't seen a whole lot of it myself. So I think all I can say is that if you can get past the character designs and to a certain extent slightly different like characterizations, I think you should still be set.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's next on the docket, Logan?
Now that we've figured out who was the man who pushed that dude off the balcony trying to get at that briefcase, we're gonna go bring him to justice.
Bat justice.
Yeah, because that's another side mission to bring Jordan up to speed. You know how, like, in certain moments in the story, you'll go through detective mode and you can, like, reconstruct, like, crime scenes and whatnot? There's pretty much an entire side mission dedicated to that, and you can go through, like, various different...
broke my
crime
fall.
scenes.
Got it.
Right,
Okay.
and then we and I like it. I think it's at least for now, one of the most you go like just full on just normal detective mode. But yep, just give me the old dang it.
I swear,
one
Logan, you are
down.
so you got a thing for those crotch punches. I'm starting to question you, dude.
They're
interrogating time.
they're satisfying, and I want to guarantee Gotham's criminal populace decreases, okay?
Also, with what's going on here, you really should be like,
Oh, sorry, my butt's in your face.
Well, I think I've seen, like, if you look at a certain angle, their heads are tilted to the side to where their mouths aren't completely obscured by the boot.
oh, and he's
Get your foot out of my face! Get your face out of my foot!
I'll have you know I wash this foot regularly on a thorough basis.
Oh.
Yeah, but do you wash the boot?
and then he quickly calls him Alfred. Alfred, necks are supposed to make that sound, right? No, Master Bruce, not if they want to continue working. Oh no.
Oh
God.
A question, Alfred. If I took him to the hospital, do you think they can fix it?
Oh, Master Bruce, I'm afraid that may be a little bit too late. Also, oh yeah, by the way, don't feel bad about this because police are corrupt in this timeline at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, so now
Especially,
are we at Lacey
especially one
Towers?
of them. Yes, now we're doing the story mission because Anarky's the only side character we have at the moment. You'll basically the game won't like throw them all at you at once. They'll always give you at least some sort of introduction to the character before you start pursuing them proper. All right, so let's get into this to learn out how we can get into Lacey Towers because it's currently an active crime scene, so it's pretty hot right now.
I mean, I could probably use a warmer space to do my my detective work at.
That could be my way in.
Ah, look at the two mooks having a smoke. Don't you know that smoking's bad for you?
Like they even care.
Oh, one of them has a sniper round.
Oh boy.
So it's easy. Just make sure to take him out first. And don't. I mean, honestly, you'd be amazed how much of this I can actually just apply normal Spider-Man mentality of like approaching these guys and taking them out.
Yeah. I just say that because I'm trying to remember if we've had snipers up to this point.
Well, I mean, you're also playing on New Game Plus, so they're probably not supposed to spawn this early.
That's fair.
Hey, dude, how you doing?
Bye,
No
dude.
smoking.
Good time. Cool. Good. You know what? You're more of the listener type. I appreciate that. All right, let's go inside Lacey's Towers.
So who is this
So this is
Lacey
gonna
and what is she towering over?
What's a guy got to do to get a smoke around here?
Well, on that wonderful note, no, you're fine. Basically, this is our next big plot related crime scene because apparently a double murder has gone down at frickin' Black Mask's, aka Sionis's. Ooh.
Well, there's the lady friend.
Penguin murdered Black
Yep.
Mask. But why would he send me here if he was the killer?
Yeah, that's another thing we have to find out as well. Apparently, one of the victims is Black Mask himself, but apparently that's going to be weird because he's still sending assassins after us. So there's a chance that this murder might not be as straightforward as the police want us to think it is.
Also, let's be fair, we do see him again in Arkham City anyway.
There is that.
Yeah, he's not dead. So I mean, I can tell you right now, the fingerprints are all gone. That guy's clearly meant to be a body double for Sionis in case of bad times.
I can identify the female victim based
So yeah,
on
that's not actually Black Mask. That, however, is definitely his actual girlfriend.
One of them
man.
at least.
One of them at least. She was no angel. Long list of priors, but nothing to indicate she was the target here.
Okay, well.
How's it hanging up there?
Really?
Spread as a result.
But yeah, just saying that I don't mind this whole mechanic of this. I honestly wish there was. I could see myself playing a whole point-and-click adventure game that was based around this that isn't Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Especially because I dislike that one of the endings in Heavy Rain is dependent on how many times you use this like VR technology thing in Heavy Rain. I thought that was a bit
Shallow
BS.
trajectory of the bullet suggests the shooter could be someone of Penguin's height.
Or it's just a normal grown man sitting, and Penguin's like,
In a chair.
I don't know why, but I just feel like I've been hurt by someone emotionally.
It's like, my feelings are hurt. Someone find the person that hurt them and kill them.
Angle of
Isn't that a little bit grotesque? Isn't that a little bit over exaggerated for just hurt feelings?
It's not a little, it's a lot!
Also, so sorry. So basically, what happened here is the gun. Basically, as we're seeing here, whoever was the actual, whoever, how to put it, it's implied that Penguin came here after the fire was set, so he wasn't the guy who killed anyone. But somebody basically forced Sionis to shoot his girlfriend, so they're very much brutal right now. But why were they on the floor?
This calls for more clue finding.
There were no dinosaurs to be walked.
Whoever shot Tiffany was being dragged along the
The
floor.
dinosaurs aren't back. That non-Bluth film lied to me.
It's not a real story. It's not a dinosaur story after all.
Hey,
Alfred.
wait, this isn't even a Don Bluth flick.
Whoop.
Was that a Don Bluth thing? Or
It
was
wasn't.
That
It wasn't. It was some other. I forget the name of the studio. I think Spielberg still did direct it or produce it. Yeah.
It reminded me of the same kind of animation studio that maybe worked on Space Jam or something.
I think it might have been Amblin. I could be wrong.
Oh, you know what? I think it was Amblin.
Let me
actually,
check.
Why not?
wasn't Don Bluth part of Amblin though?
I don't.
Technically, they were made. As far as I'm aware, they were around just to make sequels without his involvement, I guess.
Okay, because I was about to say I could have sworn that there was some Bluth films that Amblin helped out with.
Okay, so it was a Universal film.
Okay.
Universal, I knew for a fact handled the spin-offs and sequels.
Oh, so apparently the guy who broke in was wearing a white suit,
Ooh.
Similar to Black Masks.
similar to Black Mask suit.
Or it could have just been just a whole bunch of snow piled onto his suit.
Well, if it was snow, then it would have melted away.
Okay, we gotta be quiet for this bit here, because this is how his girlfriend got into the mix. She was texting someone.
DNA is from the female victim.
Do.
The level of oxidation-
Ow!
It's been here for several days.
So, where did she...
If I review the evidence, I may be able to find out what she was doing when she was attacked.
Alright, well, let's back it up and see what she was doing.
Yeah, because she was holding something and
It
dropped
was her
it,
phone. Yeah, and kaboom!
Boom. and there it is.
Bingo.
Phone.
Was doing this.
She was sending text messages to Roman Science.
Oh.
Someone named the Joker.
He said, "He's a joker in the manner."
Said the audience.
Black Mask.
So unfortunately, as is the Ridley of the Samus and the Metroids,
Which is kind of funny because, spoiler warnings, Ridley is not in Dread this time around.
which is good.
Oddly
That means they're, which again, I'm sure many people wish that Origins took a similar route. We're gonna be having some dealings with the Joker soon.
Well, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's just gonna be just like a one and done cameo from him. I mean, there's no way they're gonna have him hijack the plot for the second time in a row, right?
Many times.
Right?
Regardless, we now know that something's going on here.
Access to the National
We gotta learn about who this Joker dude is. And we need to get access to the police department if we're going to... We need to actually, for the first time, tap the police department so that we can have full access to all their resources.
Well, according to my report, Master Bruce, he's played by one Jack Nicholson.
But yeah, there's a bit of a.
Pass. Oh, hang on. Actually, I want to be quiet for this next bit up ahead. So
Okay.
sorry. So, yep. That's our plan. Get into the police department. No worries.
Oh, hi there.
No!
Okay, ow!
I'm going outside.
Okay.
I'm going outside. Let me have this, Alfred. I never ask you for much.
I'm sorry. I love that I got that off. It was just like complete no fucks given. Just, I'm going outside. And I'm just like, wow, incredible security detail there.
I'm going outside and nobody can stop me.
So yeah, there you go. So that's our plan. Break into a police department. See you guys.
Till next time.
Goodbye.
And if anyone tries to get in my way while I go get a Slurpee, I swear to God.